Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport. We have just watched another interesting weekend of racing and we learned a lot about several championships. We have already looked at the Formula 1, so let's go further down the ladder and look at the W Series, Formula 3, and let's also head across the pond for something that didn't take place in Austria, with IndyCar from mid-Ohio. We are going to look at the main talking points of each series, so remember to subscribe and leave your thoughts. What did you watch this past weekend? And with that, let's begin.
Welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport.
So the W Series had a second race from Austria, and honestly it wasn't the most exciting race ever. Beitzke has had a terrible start to her championship, tagged by Kymmelainen in round 1, and stalling from second at round 2. She finished outside the points again, and honestly, her championship is in tatters. Emma Kymmelainen did better this week. She didn't hit anyone, and finished third. I think she is going to get tougher as the races go on. There were surprise points for Irina Sidorkova and Bruna Tomaselli, so I was completely wrong about those women. Oh, and Jamie Chadwick absolutely dominated the race. But what comes next for Chadwick? She has already won this series 2 years ago and now leads it once again and looks tough to beat. Her profile has improved also with runs in Extreme E and the Asian Formula 3 series, as well as being a Williams development driver. And she won a race in the Asian F3 Championship. Does she not deserve to race in the normal Formula 3 series? See how she does against the very best there. She has links with Prema. I'd love to see her in a top car in that series. She's doing fine, but I don't think another W Series win will do anything for her. She needs to move on up. Formula 3 was absolutely nuts. If your weekend starts and stops with Formula 1, you are missing out. I think it helps there are 30 cars, because you get about half of them in one battle and the other half in another battle, meaning there's always something happening somewhere. The first race saw Matteo Nannini, Logan Sargent and Clement Novalak swapping over the lead over and over again, until Sargent dropped behind the Premas and Nannini and Novalak made contact. In my opinion, Novalak was to blame. He shut Nannini out and Nannini had nowhere to go, but it was a racing incident. But it did lead to another Dennis Hager win, and this was a good weekend for the Norwegian. There was also a lot of penalties, so at least it mirrored the Formula 1 race. Logan Sargent just can't be consistent. He did well in the first race, but a penalty dropped him down the field. Then contact with Van der Helm in race 2 saw him retire. Honestly, he's not a bad driver, but I think he's lost his chance to move up, and Formula 3 may be as far as he gets. Jack Crawford was the next victim. Running well, the car then slowed and he was out. Then Correa and Frederick collided, dropping them down. Meanwhile, the Premas were gaining place after place, with Arthur Leclerc in particular running well. But it's David Schumacher out front taking his first win, whilst Victor Martin may have pulled off the best overtake of the season at the start of the race, then also broke down, really hurting his title challenge. But he is definitely good enough to move up to Formula 2 at some point. Hager scored good points again also. Frederik Vesti got the better of Dennis Hager in the third and final race and even moved up to second place in the championship after Jack Doohan and Victor Martins had bad weekends. Talking of Martins, he along with Novalak was taken out by Arthur Leclerc in a pretty scary looking accident. Thankfully everyone looked to be okay, but it has left championship leader Hager with a big lead as we approach the halfway point in the season. Vesti, Martins and Doohan are all pretty close behind, but Prema don't look quite so dominant as they have in previous years. Maybe this is a sign that times are changing. As for IndyCar from mid-Ohio, it wasn't the most exciting race in the world ever, but Joseph Newgarden did finally win in 2021. He is also the 8th winner in 10 races, and the title chase is wide open, with Alex Palou getting third place and extending his lead from Patricio O'Ward and Scott Dixon, with Marcus Ericsson getting second, as the best season in motorsport he has ever had continues, and he can be considered a definite title contender, especially if he continues this vein of form over the last 6 races. Newgarden is there also and looks like he's just waiting to pounce. Will there be any more winners this year? I wouldn't be surprised, but Will Power had another terrible race. His season is pretty much done. He is just a backup driver for Ganassi now. Nashville is a must-watch because that circuit has a cool bridge, and the IndyCar Championship is really good. So that was the other racing from the past weekend. Not all of it was exciting, although Formula 3 was absolutely insane. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more content, several videos every week, and also maybe some live streams. And with that, like and leave a comment, share the video. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.